Hi, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. In today's tutorial, I'll be talking on how to make a shirt with this piece of fabric. So this is a leftover fabric I have. So I'll be working with it to make a shirt. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be marking is the length of my top or the length of my shirt. So what I did was to fold it into two, this way first. Then I'm going to be marking the length of my shirt. So I'm working with 28 inches. I'll be adding extra 2 inches seam allowance to it. So this is my shoulder line, which is also serving as my start point. Alright. So the next thing I'm going to be marking is I'm going to be imputing my shoulder measurements. I have 8 inches there. Then my neck width is 3 inches. I'm going to mark it here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark 1 inch where my 8 inches is. The 1 inch is for the shoulder slope. So I'm going to connect it, my neck width to my shoulder slope to the 1 inch. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to place my tape back here to the where I reduce it to 1 inch. Mark my 8 inches again. This is for my armhole. And I'm going to divide it into two. Alright, so this is my center. At that center, I'm going to place my tape this way. From that center, I'm going to come in by half an inch to get my armhole curve. And I'm going to connect it inside. Alright, so this is what I have. Now I'm going to cut out this shirt this way. I'm making use of both this side, I'm making use of everything. So I'll be cutting this. So the next thing I did was to fold my fabric into two again, then place the back one on top of it. Now if you look closely, you see that I have some inches here, some space left. This is for my button allowance. Alright, so I added extra 3 inches. So I adjusted the back piece a little, then gave 3 inches allowance for my button. Alright, so from here to here is going to be where I'm going to attach my button. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notch it, so I'll be able to know where it is. Then I'll cut. I'm notching the where it will be. Then for my back neck, it's going to be 3 inches. The width is 3 inches as usual. Then the depth is going to be 2 inches deep. So for the front neck, the depth is going to be 3 inches, but I will not be cutting it out now. It will be when I've folded my button allowance. That's when I'm going to cut it. Then I'm going to slit here open. So for the sleeve now, I want to cut the sleeve. So I'm going to mark. I'm working with 10 inches. The length of my sleeve is going to be 10 inches. Alright. So this is my start point, and I'm going to mark 4 inches for my calf line. Then I'm going to mark my bust measurement plus 2. I have 11 inches. So I'm going to mark it here. Then I'm going to connect it from here. I'll connect it to my 11 inches, then cut out. I didn't really follow the line because it was not matching up to what I want. Alright. Then my round sleeve, I want it to be a little bit big, not really big, so I'll be marking it this way. So this for one side of the sleeve. I'll be using this to cut out the other piece. This is my shirt, the front piece of the shirt. Remember we notched our button allowance where it's going to stop. So what I'm going to do now is, I don't know if you can see it clearly, I'm going to fold in a little, let me say half an inch, then fold to where my button allowance is, where I notched this. And I'm going to run a stitch on it from up to down or from down to up. So I'll do that shortly, quickly, and show you. So now I'm done stitching my button allowance for the front piece of the shirt and the base. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to be marking now is my neck width. Remember I said the depth is going to be 3 inches, so we're having 3 by 3. So this is where I'm going to place my tape at where I notched it, where my button allowance stopped. Marks my 3. Then from up I'm also going to mark 3 for the depth of my neck. Then I'm going to curve it this way. So I'll now cut it out. So I've cut it out. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to be joining the back shoulder to this. This is my front piece. This is what it looks like. Alright. So I'm going to bring my this is for my back. So I'm going to do shoulder to shoulder. I'm going to join the 2 shoulders together. Alright. So now I'm done joining my shoulders together. Alright, so this is it. I don't know if you can see properly, but I've joined the shoulders together. The next thing I'll be attaching is my sleeve. So this is my sleeve, and I notched the center point of it. So now this is the center of this is my shoulder, the center. Alright, so I'm going to bring the center of this sleeve and place it here this way. So now I'm going to run a stitch on it. Alright, closing it up this way, closing it up this way. I also do the same thing for this other side of the shirt. So after joining the sleeves, the next thing we're going to be doing now is to shape our dress. So I'm going to place it this way. So this is the side. Now starting from the bottom, I'm going to give 7 inches space because it's going to have a slit by the side. So I'm going to leave 7 inches from. I'm going to make 7 inches. Then I'm going to shape from here down to this area. The same thing I did here, that's what I'm going to do to this one. So I'm done shaping my dress. The next thing I'm going to do now, this is our slit, but we're not going to let it be this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in this way and run a stitch on it. I'm going to be holding it down with a stitch. So that's what I'm doing now. So the next thing I'm going to do is this is my neck. Alright, so I'm going to measure around my neck what I have here. So I place my tape this way. I'm taking the measurements round. Alright. And I have 20.5 inches. Alright, that's the round of my neck. So now we're going to be cutting the collar. So we have 20.5 inches. We'll be adding extra 1 inch to it. Alright. So now our collar is going to be of 2 steps. There's going to be the base of the collar, and we are going to have the upper parts of the collar. Alright, so the base of the collar is going to be 4 inches wide. Alright, so I have 4 inches wide for the base of my collar. Then the length, we have 20.5 inches. That is the round of our neck when we measured it. Okay, so I'll be adding extra 1 inch to it, making it 21.5 inch. The 1 inch I added extra is for seam allowance, so I'm going to measure my 21.5 inch. This is where it is. I'm going to cut it off. All right, now I'm going to fold this way, fold it this way again. So I'm just trying to make it very simple for me. Then I'm going to curve the edge here. Okay, I'm curving it in. If you don't understand, what you have to do, just rewatch the video, you understand very well. So I just curved it just like an N shape. Then I'm going to slit it open, the center, so it's going to be giving me 2 pieces. This is for the base of our collar. Now if you have an air stay or a gum stay or any stiffener at all, maybe a collar stay, a material gum, you attach it to this ball. I don't have it at my disposal, so for tutorial purpose I'm just going to be using it this way. But if you have, put an air stay or gum stay to it. Then this is the upper part of the collar. Remember I said it's going to be of 2 pieces. So now I'm also going to place it and measure my 21.5 inches. I'm removing this foreign knot. So I'm going to measure my 21.5. This is where my 21.5 is. Now for this one is going to be 5 inches bold. The boldness is going to be 5 inches, but the length still remains the same, please. Now I'm going to fold it just the way I folded the other one. Okay. Now I'm going to make an angle slant to it. The other one I made an any shape slant, but this one now is going to be at an angle. Alright, so this is what I will have when I'm done. You go ahead and put your stiffener. So the next thing I'm going to do now, remember I'm not working with any stiffener, I'm just working with it that way. I'm going to stitch here, run a stitch and stitch it, run a stitch here and stitch it. So now I've stitched it. This is what I have. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch it from this point now. I'm going to top stitch it round, 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 round. Then I'm going to get to this point. Alright, so that's what I'll do now. So I'm done top stitching. This is what I have. This is what it looks like. Alright, I don't know if you can see it clearly. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notch the center. I folded it into 2, found the center, or get the center, notch it a little. Alright, place it this way. Then this is our base, right? Which is 2 pieces. Find the center and notch. You're notching this upper side, this side. That is the center. Place it this way. I'm just doing this for better understanding. So place the 2 notches together. Where you notch this one, that's where you're placing that one. Also find the center of this one, this base, and notch the center too. Alright, then place it. So I've placed the center to center. Then I'm going to run a stitch on it. So I'm going to be sewing center to center too. So this is what I have. I'm going to sew it now. So this is what it's going to look like when you are done. Alright, so this is our base. This is what we have. So our collar is ready. All right, the next thing now to do is to attach it to our dress. So now this is my shirt and this is my collar. All right, so I'll be attaching it. So I placed this way. Do you know what I did? Do you? So when I'm done, this is what I have. All right, but it's still open. We are not yet done because we still need to close this. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold this in. You either top stitch from the outside in, or you run a stitch on top here. All right, to the other part of it. So this is me top stitching it. What the rough sketch looks like after sewing. I'm here to put the buttonhole, which I will do later. So this is what I have. Share this ready.